Hello, people. It's your Usmaan back again with another Manchester United podcast. As always on Usmaan Talks Tonight, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe to the channel. As you can see from the title, the question for today's podcast is: does this win paper over the cracks? That is the question that I'm going to be presenting to the guys. Of course, we will discuss the game in its, entirety, but as much as we can with the performance and just little things Ollie's done and some of the individual performances. But that aside, let me introduce our panel, as always, in the top right. I've just realized I got 2/3 of the current quiz champions here. We've got It's your boy, BX. How you doing, Skipper?
Not bad. You know how the champion's feeling right now with the team, man like Bobs and that, get me? We're champions throughout, bruv, so we're going to hold that title for a while. Get me?
100%. Yeah, 100%. And the second third of the current champions. Yeah, so what? Bits and bobs. What you saying, brother?
Yeah, so what? It's your boy, Bits and Bobs. Listen, winner's circle, bro. Do you know what I mean? Champions only. Being a champion, you don't sit at me and Beats' table, you understand? Big up to the people, man. Big up to the people.
Yes. And we have got the man himself from Red Devil Studio. Make sure you check him out as well. The absolute homie. He's the one who introduced him to StreamYard as well. So make sure you show him love. But listen, brother, how you doing?
Doing good. Here to represent, man.
I don't know what you're rapping. I don't know what you're talking about. But listen, look, first and foremost, make sure you get your comments in, because I'll be honest with you guys, this podcast, I'm going to try my best to sit on the fence just to balance the conversation, because you guys already know my opinion on the situation. So I'm going to try to just pass it to everybody else and see what their thoughts are. So first and foremost, Beeks, we'll start with you. Manchester United winning 1-0. Before we go into it, we finally won at Old Trafford, so finally got one. We got a clean sheet. A bit of positives there. We scored from the penalty, second occasion. It is what it is. At the end of the day, we got the 3 points, which puts us into 8th, as it currently stands. We're above Man City. As it stands, we're above Arsenal, but I don't know what their score is. And yeah, look, we're only a few points off the top as well if we do win our game in hand. So surely all is rosy, Beaks. Surely.
No, not everything is right. I like what you tried to do there, set it up. And I'm going to volley it right now, bro. Yeah, nothing is rosy at Manchester United, bro. See that performance there, yeah? Bro, like the title says it all in it. That win just papers over the flipping cracks, bro. I'm telling you right now, yeah. You know what's hurting me even more is the fact that this whole thing, like we've just, like, I can't remember if I put it on the group chat. And I was like, look, West Brom ain't won a league game, I said, and I'm thinking, you know what, bro? It's only right for Man United to now just give them the 3 points. The penalty, from the way they were playing in the second half, we were abysmal, bro. We were terrible, bro. Let's be real, bro. We weren't even up to scratch. With the players that we have, we shouldn't be playing that type of football. We may let West Brom look actually all right, The battle of the relegation and all sorts, bro. That's what these men were trying to tell me. Are you stupid? The fact that we won, yeah, I was like, all right, cool. That's all that matters. 3 points, it is what it is. But it's the mannerism, man. Like, this ain't good enough. And you know what's so annoying as well is the fact that we have a manager, yeah, that it ain't gonna. There's no ambition. I don't even know where Man United is at the moment. I don't even know where we stand, because, like you said off camera, yeah, if we start winning games, we got a game in hand. We're above City and whatnot. Cool. And if we win our game in hand, we're 4 points off the top. The annoying thing is we'll go on a run and then we start dipping again. There's no consistency with Manchester United. That's my problem, bruv. There's no consistency. And if there's no consistency, how the hell do you expect us to even try to challenge for the league, let alone top 4, bruv? This is my problem with Ollie, bruv. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, we missed the penalty and then we scored. But if Johnson was on his line, bruv, we'll be here. I'll be, bruv, you know how I am. I'll be flipping screwing. I'm still screwing as it is, bruv, because this ain't good enough, G. I can't be dealing with this, man. This is long, and I know people are gonna have their opinions or whatnot, with Ollie and I'm all here for their opinions, innit? If you can convince me, yeah, as to why Ollie should be staying at this job, then boy, congratulations. But we're gonna go back and forth. This is gonna be a juicy episode right now. I'm telling you right now because I ain't having none of this, bro. If I can RKO Ollie out of the building for Manchester United, then so be it. Because this man, there's managers out here, man. This is the annoying thing. There's a good enough manager with Manchester United squad, and I'm telling you now, Spurs won't even be in the position that they're in right now. That's facts, man. I'm telling you now, bro. You understand? I know people are going to disagree. I can see man like G
Listen,
bottom corner.
Let's bring G.
Get me?
He's shaking his head. You know, G, as Beak said himself, you know, at the end of the day, we got the 3 point. It is what it is. Quite in Beats there. You know, what are your thoughts on what he said in terms of, you know, the performance as well before you go on to Ollie himself?
No, the performance, I'm not naive. What I will say, though, is that, like, I think that there has been a bit of, because usually I'm quite emotional in the game. I'm like, it's terrible performance, 60 minutes reaction. But then I often take some time to actually reflect the day after at the game. And for goodness, sorry, Leeds hit the post and it ball out the net. So I'm distracted. And I look back and actually reflect on actually what the game was. And to be honest, like I was seeing some posts being like, "Oh, Manchester United parked the bus 11 men behind the ball against West Brom at home." I was like, that didn't happen. When I watched that game against West Brom, we didn't park the bus against West Brom. That didn't happen. And to be honest, when I look at the players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picked in terms of the variables, apparently Pogba, I think, picked up an injury. Greenwood has got issues. So when I look at the squad, I'm like, who else could he have actually picked in terms of starting?
I'll throw one out then, so you can back it back to me. Take Fred or Matic out, whichever. I don't really have a preference on either. I'll put Van der Beek in. So what are your thoughts on that?
So who would be the more defensive holding player there? So
just say Matic is there, right? Matic is the CDM, quality CDM. Okay, granted he's off age now. But like genuine question, I'm literally asking you.
Yeah,
do you think we needed 2 CDMs and Van der Beek?
Well, it's based on form because we didn't. Because I can also understand it from based on form on like how the players are playing. So, for example, how's Van
der Beek going to get form if he doesn't get a chance?
Well, Van der Beek played against. We dropped Fred, for example, against Istanbul. We played Matic. We played Pogba. We played Van der Beek. Last time I checked, we still lost it to Istanbul 1-0. So there has to also be a balance where, like, yes, I appreciate that Van der Beek has talent. There was a depth signing. I'll come to that issue in a second. But also, you also have to reward consistent players. And the fact of the matter is that Fred, I know people don't like Fred, but for the most part, he hasn't done much wrong.
I love Fred.
In fact, the reason why we got the penalty was once again, he made an interception, played the ball forward, and then was it Telles or one of them got the cross in, and we get the penalty. You know, so the way I see it is that I don't think there's much in the starting lineup than from I can see that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have picked. People complain about Mata. I'm like, well, you know, I don't think Van der Beek can play on the right. So that's one thing. The second thing is that West Brom clearly were going to not give us any space, like at all. And to be honest, we actually created a lot of chances in that game. We did. If I'm perfectly, 60 minutes in, Marshall is 1-on-1 the keeper. He should be scoring that goal. If he scores that goal in 60 minutes, we're not even having that conversation because West Brom probably come out. Rashford, I think it was another. I think it was Bruno that crossed it again. 1-on-1 the keeper misses it. Like there were a few opportunities.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay, let me just throw it back to you before we bring you Bobs. First and foremost, the Martial chance, right? He 100%. He needs to score that. We know that.
Yeah.
However, I can't remember what minute. I think it was the 16th. Or I can't remember what minute it was. Maybe 20th minute, something around that time. Prior to that, we had no shots on target. After, of course, if Martial scores that goal, of course, it changes complete complexity of the game, and we understand that. The second half, and I said this to somebody on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, but the reason I don't count the second half chances after we went 1-0 up is because they're desperate to get back in the game, so they're pushing people forward. We've got acres of space, and with the caliber of players we've got on the pitch, right? Surely you'd expect us to create chances. Look, we had Martial on the pitch, we had Cavani on the pitch, we had Rashford on the pitch, we had Bruno on the pitch, and Van der Beek, right? When we 1-0 up.
So the question should be, because let's be real here, Chelsea and Spurs played this West Brom side because this is my point going into about like we actually need, I agree that Ole is not. We also need to be looking at our players. West Brom played Chelsea and Spurs, and West Brom drew with Chelsea 3-3.
that 3-3 was an anomaly, man. If you ask any Chelsea fan.
Okay, and then Spurs played West Brom, and it took an 89th minute from Harry Kane, and they played poorly to actually get the win, and Spurs ahead of the league. So what I'm trying to say is that we again, as sort of went into the game, like we should be putting 3-4 past West Brom, even though that hasn't actually happened to West Brom this season. And at the same time, we also acknowledge the fact that our 4 players are not clinical. So then what do you expect? If we're 4 players unclinical,
I hear your point. I'm going to pass it to Boz because I wanted to get in. But before I pass it to Boz, I hear what you're saying regarding the clinicalness. That was frustrating me as well. However, Martial had one chance. Like, he obviously has to score that, don't get me wrong. But you're saying 100% conversion there from Martial. After that chance, he didn't have anything really of note that I can remember. He had that glancing header. That was all on him. That cross was
no, not just Martial. I include Rashford in that as well.
The Rashford chance was way late in the game. That was like the 65th minute, like after we 1-0 up. So you're gonna get that was on the counter as well. It wasn't like we ripped them open. I expected to rip teams like this open. We'll come back to the Spurs point because I do think it's a valid point. Bob, just to get your thoughts in there, what do you think? Because obviously, G said first and foremost, what would you change with the lineup? And obviously regarding the performance, he feels that we created a lot of chances.
Personally, G, I disagree with you, man. And because for me, I thought it was boring. I thought it was awful. I thought the team lineup was the wrong team lineup. Yes, we got the win, so we move. I get that. However, from what he had available, we don't need 2 DMs against West Brom, Albion, whatever they're called. We don't need one Mata. Why do we have this thing where one Mata plays wide right, and he doesn't play wide right? He starts there, but
who should have played though, bits and bobs? That's my question.
Who should have
played wide right to the Mata who was available?
Well, listen, the Dutch Milky Way kid sitting on the bench, right? Let's be serious here. Play him, okay? He's probably got more attributes to play on the wing than Mata does. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? There's nothing about Mata in his skills or attributes that say, yes, stick him wide right. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. And that's what happened. That's why Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets left 2-on-1 all the time. Anyway, referring to the game, I would have played Donny van de Beek or 4-3-3. Okay, if you want to play Matic, cool. Take Fred off, play Bruno, or play Bruno, Fred, and Matic, and allow Matic to be the deeper one. Or my preference, okay, is actually to play Bruno, Van de Beek, and Fred, and let Fred be the deeper one. So 4-3-3, okay. Regarding the Martial thing, I don't care what anyone says. He should have scored that. I don't care. Me and you, all 4 of us score that. 6 yards out, you should be burying that. That's why he's inconsistent. Rashford, I'm done with Rashford, to be honest. Let me not lie to you, because I'm done with Rashford, bro. He's so inconsistent. And do you know what? I said this on another podcast, right? Rashford and Martial are what we want Harry Kane and Son to be.
Thank you.
Right? And for me, yeah, okay, we can say, is it coaches? Because to be honest, Harry Kane and Son are thriving under a coach that we sacked. Right?
Yep.
By the way, I just want to plug that very quickly that Jose Mourinho has won the most trophies since Fergie left. Anyway, we move. Rashford and Martial, man, they're killing me softly, bro. Shout out the Fugees, real talk, because I'm watching them. I'm thinking, give me something. Do you know what I mean? Give me something that I can text the man down, like, oi, did you see that? Do you know what I mean? Now I don't even want to text the man down because I'm like, well, you are demanding, so I'm in the group chat with you lot. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, there's nothing to talk about. It's just, it's woeful, bro. And do you know what? People say he's young, blah, blah. Cut the bullshit, yeah? Rashford has been playing in my United team for the last how many years? It's not about if you're good enough, you're old enough, period. And yeah, man, like 4-3-3, should have been a 4-3-3. Why does Ollie wait till the 60th minute to say, right, Cavani, come on. Cavani's been with us for how long now? Surely against West Brom at home is the perfect plug for him to be like, right, lad, go and get 90 minutes. Because I don't understand, because he brings Cavani on, then he tells Rashford, go wide right. Start with that. And
we might see that in the coming games, though, innit? Obviously.
But why do? Why is it we have to wait to see it in the coming games? Why do we have to build up fluidity? Just do it.
The only thing I would say though is that, like, I get people's point, but let's be real here. Why are we actually talking about playing players they're not actually supposed to be playing those positions in those positions. Doesn't that show you where we are as a squad? Rashford is not a right winger. Mata's not a right winger. We're trying to put players in different to fill out gaps. That is not. We talk about being Manchester United. How are we still
our manager,
playing that position?
Our manager's playing a Spanish number 10 who ain't got any legs, wide right consistently. If you want to do that, okay. Do you know what? We'll satisfy the fans by playing
Our manager wanted the wing. He wanted Jadon Sancho, who is a right winger. He wanted a forward player in Haaland.
Listen,
I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to tell you right
we
now.
didn't get KFC wings. Never mind, Jadon Sancho's a winger,
I'm going to
bro.
tell you right now. Even if Sancho had come, yeah,
there's no difference.
No difference, bro.
I'm telling you
no
now, a couple of other bits of quality, but overall the play is still not good enough. But let's just get a couple of comments in here, and then obviously we'll come back to you guys because obviously people are saying similar things. Was Mata the issue yesterday? To me, there were several other issues in terms of starting 11. Also, we got a comment from Vakinel, which is something I was thinking as well. Van de Beek comes on with 9 minutes to go, like comical. Like, what's the point? Why? And he obviously said, "Why is Lukaku a proven goal?"
Thank you. Can we chat about those numbers?
I actually don't agree with that because I think the best thing we've done is sell Lukaku and put Martial.
I disagree very much because you know why?
Listen,
the only number 9 we had. Martial's not a number 9.
Yeah,
He's not a number 9.
Yeah, but the thing is, Bob's right. What you said about Martial and Rashford, I agree with you, and I said it in yesterday straight after the game. They're too inconsistent, so that's why they're never going to be elite or world class unless they somehow find consistency. However, post lockdown, Rashford and Martial, and for a lot of the season, they did carry us. Last season,
Bruno carried us,
and it was literally Martial and Rashford carried us that entire season before Bruno came in. And I think people do forget what Rashford done for us. Like, and yes, he does frustrate the shit out of me again, but I still do believe in the guy for his ability. But going back to the Martial thing, I think Martial for me he's just on really bad form at the moment. Like he's not doing his job. Again, post lockdown, you saw what he was capable of. He bagged the hat-trick against Sheffield United. In those run of 7 games, he was doing everything. That goal that he set up for Rashford when he held off the Southampton defender, laid it off to Rashford, who came and finessed it with his left foot. Like Martial's shown what he can do, but at the moment, and I think this is the thing with like a lot of the problems at Man United is we don't create enough chances at the moment. So when we do miss chances, they're heightened. So that Martial miss, right?
I don't know.
That Martial miss obviously is shocking, but if he gets another 2 chances that game, he probably scores like at least 1, and people will be like, "Oh, he missed one, but he made up for it." He literally gets 1 chance a game. And if you're not got 100% conversion, you're going to be classed as a flop.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is what I'm saying is like, how do you? This is what I'm saying against teams like West Brom and Istanbul, right? You're not like Everton. In Everton, for example, Sevilla, we created a lot of chances for entry play. Against a team like, if you look at the Spurs and West Brom game, Spurs barely created. You can't create tons of chances when you have essentially 11 players parking the bus behind the ball. It is difficult.
Let me just interject quickly, yeah. You're saying like, okay, how can you break that down? But you were here saying that who would I rather put in if I have to take out McTominay or Fred?
Didn't start,
not McTominay, Matic or Fred. So in that sense, in this game, I'm putting the amount of the most creative midfielders or players that I can put on the pitch in order to break this team down, which I can do. And Ollie didn't do that, bro. You don't have to play
Istanbul, though.
Bro, let me tell you something. Yeah, European games and Premier League games are completely different. It's a whole different span, bro. That game there, I personally believe that we were complacent, bro. We thought, we'll have this.
11 men behind the ball. They suffocated us and they hit us on the break.
You know about the West Brom game?
No, I'm talking about.
He's talking about Istanbul, and I'm saying Istanbul. I'm saying Istanbul and a Premier League team like West Brom are completely different. And I'm saying that these men. But what I'm trying to say to you is that if we don't need to play 2 DMs, bro. We don't need. If you want to play Mata on the right, that's for you. That's for everyone else. Cool. But I can't allow that. If you're gonna play Mata on the right, cool. But at least put Van der Beek on. We need a bit of link up. We need creativity. There was nothing like that. We didn't create nothing.
Exactly.
And then people are out here saying that, oh, Martial's off form, and of course he is. But who's feeding him, bro? Who's trying to help him? He has to play deep, bro. He has to come in deep. I can't. Again, and it all stems down to the manager, bro. It all stems that we have no play, bro. We have no style of what. It's just freestyling, bro. Everyone, we know what we're trying. We're just freestyling, bro.
Martial and Rashford have played under 3 different managers now. Okay, they played under Van Gaal, they played under Mourinho, they played under, as we said, Jose Mourinho has now gone to Spurs, right? Okay, he's gone to the place that he's going to get the coach that we want, because apparently Pochettino is superior to Jose Mourinho. He's gone to Spurs, and in 9-10 games, I can see the improvement Harry Kane. He's not just the goal scorer now.
Harry Kane was doing
wild. That statement is wild, bro, because Harry Kane's been doing it for 4 to 5 seasons. Back to back.
So has Son, man.
And so has Son, G. The difference is Mourinho probably added a mentality to that Spurs.
Nastiness.
Yes. Do what you got to do. And hold tight Mourinho for doing that, because I'm not doubting Mourinho. The difference is that Mourinho had a lot of superstars at Man United. There's no superstars at Spurs, bro. So much personality at Man United he couldn't control. He can control that. He can control it. He can do what he can. Bro, you're telling me that the personality is like Pogba and them, man, in the locker room are not causing some kind of conflict and division. That in itself is a problem. If you can't handle that, that's why Mourinho had to go. It all stems down to the players, bro. It happened at Chelsea, it happened at Man United, and trust me, it will happen at Spurs when that time comes. You see, the thing with Mourinho out here, yeah, is that we're getting a bit carried away. We're nine games in, and Spurs are doing fantastic. That's great, but let's see how they can carry on with Europa League in place. I'm not even going to try to talk about Spurs. The problem is Man United. Ollie's not good enough. Period, bruv.
Yeah, the reason why I brought Spurs in though was I'm comparing their game, because this is why I'm trying to be in a reaction. We're like, oh, we come as fans, we should basically be beating these teams 4-5 something. That's why I bring the Spurs. That's why I bring Chelsea in, because it's mitigating these expectations that we as fans expect based on our squad, that we should be going into these games and swatting these teams 4-5-0.
Can I just add to that? I've got a question for you. So again, I've had this conversation with someone already. The reason why Spurs and Chelsea, there's sort of leniency towards them not hitting them for 4-5 is because they're not playing poor consistently. And I said this I tweeted this out earlier. We're 80% poor, 20% good. In terms of our performances, like the RB Leipzig performance, right, was the best performance I've seen probably in the last decade. Like even under Fergie, right, I generally, and that's under Ollie. So fair play to Ollie, credit where it's due. That was a very good RB Leipzig team who slapped him for 5. He got that 110% correct. Respect where it's due. So I'm not one of those people that I won't give him credit where he deserves it. But what I'm saying is, those performances are far and few between. I'm not expected to play to that standard week in, week out. But out of 10 times, I'm saying 7 times or 6 times or even 8 realistically. 6, 7, 8 times out of 10, we need to be playing remotely to that standard. In actual fact, out of 10 games, how many times are we playing to that standard? 2 games. And I'll give you the 2 games. It's PSG and RB Leipzig. The Newcastle game, we played against a very good Newcastle team on the day. They were absolutely woeful. I was doing the watch along. I was like, no way these guys are playing this shit. And again, you can only beat what's in front of you, and we put them to the sword. So fair credit to the boys. Against Everton, and I'm sure you would agree, they were absolutely shocking as well. Everton without Richarlison, James Rodriguez wasn't really fit. Digne wasn't really there. And again, I'm not making excuses. A win is a win. But what I'm saying is, the reason myself and other fans get frustrated, and I'm passing it to you, is because all we're asking for, I'm not even asking to win the title. I'm just saying play good football for 3 games in a row. You can't do it. We play good 1 game. The second game will be in the middle, and the third game will be woeful. Then the game after that, we'll scrape a win. Then we'll be good. We don't have a clue, and that's all we're asking for. Just a bit.
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is that's what my point is just that that's been the case. That's been the case for the last 7-8 years.
Oh no, I agree.
And it will also be the case when Pochettino comes. When the other manager comes in, that's my point. So for me, especially when people go to sack and stuff like that, at the end of the day, from just a realistic point of view, if we win our game, Mourinho I think was sacked when we were 12 or 14 points behind 4th. If we win our game in hand, we'll only be 4 points behind top. So based on where we are now, he can't be sacked.
In a poor league. This is a poor Premier League, bro.
Exactly.
No. I'm not even taking my opinion out of it. I'm just talking about board facts and something. The board are not going to sack a manager because remember the board's level is going to be fourth.
They're not going to sack the manager.
They're not going to sack a guy who's 4 points behind first. Now are they? That's not going to happen. So where I see is rather than be exacerbated by Ollie in or out or something, because I'm still on the fence either way. I would say I'm Ollie indifferent. Yeah. Right now, it's just a question of like, let's again hope that we get some sort of consistent run of form, get out of the Champions League group, beat Istanbul on Wednesday. If we win against Southampton, I'm actually fairly confident against City. I know people are going to laugh at that, but I don't have any issue playing against City because we just counter-attack and score and win. So I don't think we'll beat them. And then suddenly we're in a better position. So if he loses against Istanbul and Southampton, he's going to get sacked. If he wins, we'll be in a better position. So
let's bring Bobs in, and you've kind of put me on the topic anyways because this is what I was going to ask. Right, I hear what you're saying, G. 100% hear it, because obviously me and Beaks actually said it before you came here, as in came into the backstage studio, and we said we're not actually that far from the top, regardless of how poor we've been so far. We're still within touching distance of Tottenham Hotspur, who are currently the pace setter, so to speak. But what I'm going to say is, for me personally, right, I've been Ollie in for ages. It was literally the Spurs defeat that turned me, because I thought, you know what, we might get another good win. Like we might beat Southampton. I can't remember who we got after. We might beat Istanbul. We might beat Southampton, and then you're going to see everyone on social media saying, "Oh, Man United won 4 games in a row. We've conceded X, Y goals, and we've scored." Listen, I'm all for that. I would love it if we went on a run, and I would love to put my hands up and say we're going to be wrong. But history tells me we'll go on a run. And there's no end game here. I don't personally think, and again, I'm going to pass it to you guys. I don't personally think Ollie is good enough to challenge or mount a challenge. Again, not win it, just mount a challenge or be in the conversation come the end of the season or even in March, give or take. I just don't think he's good enough to do that because history has shown under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there's consistency in team selection, performances, obviously results, and just in general there's no consistency with the manner in which we approach games. So Bob's, as the title suggests, do you think this is just delaying the inevitable in terms of we're gonna have we might come fourth, like don't get me wrong, we might finish fourth, but as I tweeted earlier, I don't want to be Arsenal Football Club, I'm trying to be Bayern Munich. Like we're all of age, we're all in our 20s, we used to take the piss at Arsenal for coming top 4. And now we're loading it like it's an achievement. When the season finished, and I'm sure you said this, G, and everyone has said on their own platform. Now, we need to go again. Granted, the board have had an absolute shit show, and that's a complete conversation.
I don't think we're going to win.
The board are always out first before the manager for me, because they're the real problem, and I don't think any of the United fan would deny that. But obviously, we know we live in reality, and they're not going anywhere. So, Bobs, what are your thoughts, brother, on obviously yes, we won. We won against Everton, so 2 good wins technically back to back, so we take that. But in terms of the grand scheme of things, can you really see the process or where we're trying to head?
No, because there's no direction. He couldn't even, if you gave him an address, he still couldn't find it. Do you know what I mean? There's no structure. There's no. Gee, I hear what you're saying on Usmaan and Beaks. I hear what you're saying, but like, where are we going? It's been 2 years. If we get top 4, is that an achievement?
Nice.
I mean. We got top 4 because Chelsea handed it to us. Let's be serious, right? And this season, if we're actually just stalling, potentially probably going backwards. And, we talk about squads and saying that, this player, that player, right? But let's look at our in-house, right? We should be playing a lot much better with the players we have. And with the direction we're going right now, there's no direction because, we can sit here and argue and debate, right? But the fact is this: he's out of his depth. Okay, he's reached his ceiling. So I'm not even angry at Ollie anymore because do you know what? You've done what I expect you to do, and not perform. You're not going to kick on. What he should have done was get us to 3rd. Okay, and said, do you know what, lads? Thank you. I've enjoyed my time. This is as far as I can take you, and then someone else come in because that means. He's acknowledging his own ability because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has just proved he can't sign the big players. Erling Haaland didn't come. Sancho didn't come. And do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna refer this.
Oh, come on, that's not his fault. Come on, that you can't blame Oli.
That is the board's fault.
No. Okay. Oh, check this out. Okay, check this out. You're seeing the boards, yeah, but listen, yeah. Forget the boards, yeah. If you want to go play for a manager, you're going to play for him, right? If you know a manager's there and you want to go play for him, you're going to play for him, yeah? And I know football's elevated and changed, but if we go back in history, Michael Essien came from, I believe it was Lyon, okay? I think so. And he wanted to play for Chelsea, and he wanted to play for Jose Mourinho. He went on strike. There's other players that have done so many things to go and play for that manager, okay? Oli does not bring that to this club. You know, the players we've signed have signed because they support Man United.
Bob, just to throw, obviously, you know, to play from the other side again, I do agree that is the board's fault. I'm not going to blame anything on Oli if the player's not coming, because at the end of the day, the board need to fix up, because look, they took the piss with even the
I get that. And to play devil's advocate, we can be like, okay, cool. Do you know, with the players he's got, we should be competing, at least competitive, right? So, why go on for Oli then? Do you know what I mean? Look at the players you've got, and I think that's why some people are poaching, because I believe Poch could bring out an extra 25-30% with the current individuals. He would develop these players, coach them to be better, and also, I dare say, we'd have a pattern of play and we'd have some structure, you know? And he might not, listen, he may not win the league, but listen, we're not winning the league right now.
I honestly can't see us winning the league in the next 5 years, anyways. To be honest,
no, 100%.
We're not run properly as a club to win the league.
My question to you guys, okay? Tell me in 2 sentences what we do on the Oli as playing football besides counter-attacking.
Right, Beeks, let's bring you in, because we've got a comment here from the United way, which is making me laugh. Beeks looks like he's waiting to rip into this one. The calm before the storm.
Someone just sent him Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's address, innit?
Send me that. No, everyone thinks I'm just gonna rip my man. I'm not here to rip anyone. I'm just at wit's end, bruv. And like Bob said, like there's no other than counting attacking football. We don't. Everyone's here. You've said it, Usmaan. G, you slyly said it as well. Even though like you're on the fence with Oli. There's no structure. There's nothing. There's no substance at Man United. We're not run well. It all stems from the top, bruv. Do you understand? And that filters all the way down to the players, to the manager. We are just in a position where we're just a club that is in the Premier League right now, and there's nothing that we are wanting to do as in challenge, or I don't even know what the expectations are. What has the board come out and said we want top 4 or we want the league? Exactly. What do they go out and say to Oli? Oh, Oli, this is what we want. Like, I can't see. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, when a manager wants something or when the team want to do something, they have ambition. I don't know what the board has gone to Oli and said, oh, by the way, if you can get top 3 or if you can challenge for the league, that would be good. I don't know. There's no point. There's no thing to say, here's the action. This is what we want from you. There's nothing. Everyone's just happy, smiling, showing teeth. We see Ed Woodward sometimes at games. He's got his mask on. I'm sure he's smiling underneath his mask. Ollie's there. He's smiling. Everyone's smiling. I'm just thinking, bro, is this where we're at, man? You understand what I'm saying? And you have to understand, it's not just the West Brom game that's really frustrating. It's just everything in general. Like Usmaan said, the only 2 games throughout the whole season we played well was PSG and RB Leipzig. Why is it when we're trying to face tougher oppositions, that's when we want to stand up, show our chest, flex, and say, you know, this is, you know, the key word here is consistency, G. I just want consistent good football. I want consistency with the team selection. I want consistency all around, bro. I want to see the direction we're going in. We'll win 5 games in a row, then all of a sudden we'll lose, and then we'll go on a terrible run. But that doesn't put it away the fact that we could end up getting top 4 regardless, some way, somehow, miraculously, and then all is forgotten, and then Oli stays. Do you understand?
He's a pussy, bro. I'm saying it, man. There you go. He's a pussy.
It will be.
I'm just going to read this comment out, and Gene, I'll pass it to you. Cole just put, Louis van Gaal said he wasn't asked once about style of play when he was interviewed for the job. Ali definitely isn't being told a damn thing. Like, G, what are your thoughts? Obviously, Beats has kind of said regarding the lack of sort of identity really in terms of where we play.
I mean, this is my thing. I mean, we're talking about being real as a United fan. I mean, I know Beaks was talking about, we've all been talking about competing for trophies, etc., and about being new Arsenal. But the reality is that if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for example, gets 4, that actually will be an improvement because it'll be the first time since Fergie that we've actually achieved top 4 back to back.
Right.
That's the reality. In 8 years, we've gone maybe second, then we've gone 7th, then we've gone 3rd or 4th, whatever, then we've got 6th. So technically, if he does get 4th, that'll be an improvement. And the board will look at that and go, okay, you know what? The reality is, and that's why, like, when I'm indifferent, it's not because, like, I'm an Ollie in a sort of hyper sort of thing. It's more that I don't want to waste almost like my energy, if that makes any sense. When you look at Chelsea right now, I know people don't like comparisons. When we're talking about what is the ambition, the director of football went out. Lampard's like, get these players. They got 7 players into their starting 11 in one transfer window. You do that when your owner is like, right, I want you to challenge for the title. Right, I want you to go into the Champions League. That's the reality of modern football now. So, whereas United fans are like, oh, well, you know, Harry Maguire's 80 million. Oh, you know, we have to persevere with him. They had a ban to 75 million King Kepa, and they were like, screw him, get another one. That's what I mean when we talk about competing for big trophies, big clubs. That's the reality of modern football right now. Pep Guardiola, 100 million on defenders. I'm not trying to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shouldn't do more, but what I am trying to say is that the ambition of our club, if our club actually had ambition, irrespective of who's the coach, you go out and get the best players, then Ole fails, the next person comes in and takes over. That's how big clubs are run. Yeah. But the reality, unfortunately, is that if Ole's sacked, and let's say he loses against Istanbul, which he will, Poch will come in. Will Poch get what he wanted? Will be back? Of course, he's not going to.
This is.
But if he doesn't get back, what does it matter? He's a better coach, though, so he can develop what we have.
Oh, no, what I'm saying is that, in terms of because we're saying he'll be better, but then in terms of competing, but we're not actually using the trophy word. We're just saying, oh, he might kind of get us closer to sort of being around, but we're not actually saying right, this is the guy who's going to actually make us win trophies. Yeah, and we realize that.
The thing is, right, just to come back to what you're saying, G,
yeah,
very good point in terms of the board. I completely agree with what you're saying. But on the other side, the other side of the fence, so to speak, people are going to say, okay, granted, the board are definitely a hindrance. They're holding us back from, being genuine title contenders, etc. But with this manager, G, do you genuinely believe and say it with your chest that you think we'll win the league in the next? Let's just say he gets top 5 4 years in a row and he keeps his job, whatever, Pochettino-esque, whatever. Do you genuinely think that we'll win the title under Ole?
No, but I won't think
exactly.
No. Hold up, but not solely because of him is the point. So what I'm trying to say is that
let's remix it. Let's remix it. Let's quickly remix it. Yeah, is Ole a good coach? Do you think Ole's a good coach? Done.
I think Ole is not a good. I think Ole is a good. I think Ole's a good manager.
He's not asking you that. He's asking if he's a good coach, G.
No, because we have to have a mixture of both in football. You have to have a mixture of both in football these days.
He's not a coach.
So, for example, Mourinho is a good coach, for example. But we know that his management, for example, oftentimes gets him to lose the dressing room. It's no good being a good coach sometimes if you lose the dressing room, the players don't play for you. It's clear from what I can see as players that the players like Ole.
Yeah, the players do
like Ole, they would have down tools not played for him ages ago. So you have to have a combination of both. You can't just be a good coach if you end up, and in case of Pochettino.
Let's just come back to what I was going to say. So,
right, I'm talking too much.
No, as in I've got another question for you. So regarding Ole, right? So obviously you don't think he's going to win the league. You didn't get to explain yourself, so I'll give you a chance. But you've spoken about the team, right? And I agree with you in terms of the board do need to do more. We needed a centre back and a CDM and a right winger. Them 3 were the priority for me. We didn't get none of them, so that's on the board. That's not on Ole. He can only do with what he can only make do with what he's got. We saw the same thing happen with Jose. He wanted a centre back. They didn't give him one. So we know there's an issue with the board. We're not denying that. However, hypothetical, of course, is a hypothetical. Let's take Ole out of the seat. Ignore Pochettino for a second, because obviously it's all up in the air with Pochettino. If Klopp inherits this team that Manchester United have got, right? Like, let's just say Klopp's our manager, for example. Again, he's a Liverpool scum, so I don't really want to use him, but it is what it is. Let's just say we got Klopp instead of Oli with the same players. I can guarantee the front three, the improvements can be at least 50%. Midfield cohesion in terms of structure, philosophy of what we're trying to deliver on each. Again, I'm not going to say it's going to deliver as a trophy, because I still agree with the point that you're making. But the likelihood of it happening with Klopp over Oli is considerably more. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course I would. I'm not denying. I'm not denying.
That's the problem.
The thing is, if I want to establish my point, is that, like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, if we all agree that under the current board that we're not going to basically be competing for anything anytime soon, then what are we saying? Are we just saying that we just want to get a new manager in who can?
What I'm saying, G, is right. Listen, I've given Oli enough opportunities, right? So I've not been Oli out for a long time. I've been Oli out for like since the Spurs lost, literally. So it's not a long time ago. So what I'm saying is, right, for me personally as a fan, if I can't see the money, you just said you've agreed to the fact that you think Klopp will get more of the team. I personally think if we get a manager who's more capable of getting more out of the team, I don't actually think we're that far off challenging for the title. Because if you actually look at the league, Man City look woeful at the moment. Yeah, don't get me wrong, they'll come good at some point. But Liverpool have got everybody injured. The whole back four's injured. Robertson has just come back from injury, right? This is like a league title when Leicester won it. That's how open the title is, because anyone could win it.
And we had Van Hal as a good coach there, who had all the experience, who had a good.
It's not about experience. You need someone. Don't just get someone because of experience. You need someone that's going to bring the DNA of Manchester United in there. Van Gaal had it to an extent. But if you actually look at his 10 years in his other clubs, it was quite evident he was on the decline. Like, somebody put a comment in here.
This is the thing. This is what I'm saying. Is like I'm not disagreeing with Usmaan, but I also do think like we are almost every coach that comes in, like before they come in, we talk about the positive, we talk about the praises, and then when it doesn't go well, we automatically look back and say, "Oh, this person."
Okay, I hear that point. Okay, so let's in the time that Ali's been here, right? And I'm gonna pass this to Bobs, and I'll come back to you. In the time Ali has been here, Bobs, have you seen enough to suggest that we are gonna move in the direction that this club needs to move in?
Hell no. Listen, no. Do you know why? Because of the inconsistency in formations, inconsistency of performances, and let's also say the teams he picks, the individuals he picks, does not make sense. 2 + 2 = 4, not flipping freestyle. Do you know what I mean? If you go back, not even just look, I support Man United first initially. Always want the club and team to do well, full stop. Also, I'm a realist and I'm a football fan, yeah? When basically we appointed Oli, I was like, cool story, whatever, yeah? Just, do you know what I mean? Mourinho was thinking out the joint. Flipping any manager after Jose was going to look like a saint, yeah? But under the evidence in the last 2 years, okay? Guys, 2 years, no trophies. 2 years, nothing to show for it, okay? Not even a flipping academy player to say, oh my God, I can't wait to see this player kicks on. We've got nothing, okay? So why would I sit here now? No, this is my opinion. Why would I sit here now and say, yes, let him take us forward? Because he's not taking us forward. There's no evidence to show exactly what this guy said, Viking Red. It's a short gap fix.
Yeah,
them ones, yeah, where you just say, like, actually, do you know what, yeah? Come do your thing and leave. Cool. He should have left in the summer. Because do you know what? What's going to happen now? Yeah? He's going to F up his legacy. If he's not already doing it now. I'm telling this right now.
Oh, come on. Nah, come on. You can't say that. You can't.
You know what?
He hasn't.
You've got to separate the player and the manager. Come on.
The guy now, yeah, was a 4th choice striker. Right? I'm saying it was a 4th choice striker. That's who we've got. He was happy to be at Man United, bro. He was happy to high five Andy, high five Yorkie, even top knocker with Teddy Sheringham, bro. My guy was coming on a substitute, bro. What?
No.
Because my guy toe poked the ball into the top of corner. And won us the Champions League. You're telling me he's a legend? Get out of here, bro. You're a cult hero at best, yeah. And that's your ability. Listen to me. Your mentality. Okay. Your mentality is to say that you're happy to be here. You should be happy to be. Did you hear his comments after West Brom game? It's always hard against this kind of quality. Get out of here, bro. Your mentality is to accept to be happy at Man United, bro. Okay? No, we need winners. We should have went and fucking got Ancelotti, bro, who's an actual serial winner.
Jose Mourinho. We had a winner.
Bro, listen, you can say what you want about Jose. He's won us the most trophies since Fergie left. Period.
Hold it. Listen.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means?
You know what that is? Jose, if you think this football's bad, the Jose football was fucking diabolical. I'm not happy with that. I'm not
complaining about the football that he played. It was boring. It was lethargic. They were saying
this with Jose week in, week out. We're going through a bad patch. I do need to put that in there because look, don't get me wrong. Post lockdown, we were brilliant, and I don't think any United fan would be saying this when we slapped Bournemouth 5-2 and beat Sheffield United 3-0. And we've actually got the record for the first team in the history to score, 3 goals in 4 games consecutively. So, we did have a good purple patch there. However, regarding Ollie himself, he's a legend. I'm not hearing he's not a legend.
He's not.
He's a legend. You can say what
He's
you want about other managers. He's a legend, man.
Because he scored top corner in a Champions League final. Are you serious?
That's triple, mate.
That's
to be a legend.
Okay, so you're telling me, right? Go to any German football fan, yeah? Go to any German football fan, mention this guy's name to him, and I guarantee you, every single one of them will call him a legend, but he's done fuck all in his career. Mario Götze.
Why is that? Mario Götze.
Germans don't think this is a legend.
He's a cult hero at best.
He's a cult hero.
Superman was a cult hero. Cult hero.
No,
cult
he's
hero.
Not a cult hero.
He's a cult hero.
He's put his name in his
hero.
Legend. Götze is a legend. So is Solskjaer because he won the Champions League. Simple as that.
Oh man!
Iconic. Everyone talks about the travel. Listen.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Listen, everybody. I'm going fishing, bro. I got 2 big fishes.
Oh,
he's trying to backtrack. He's trying to backtrack. He's gone too far. Listen. Of course he's a legend. I'm not stupid. Yes, even Kobe on the anyways, that aside, I completely lost my trail of thought. I had a question lined up as well. But Beats, coming back to you, brother. Let's finish on a couple of positives. Let's finish on a couple of positives because I don't want everyone to think it's a negative show. Because it is what it is. But for me personally, first and foremost, Maguire's been brilliant of late. Got to give credit where it's due. I was surprised to see Lindelof play because I thought he was injured, but I thought he was fairly steady. I can't really remember him putting the foot wrong. De Gea. De Gea for a second. Obviously, we've spoken about a few negatives, but Beats. Let's talk about a couple of positives. Is there any positive from that game? Obviously, De Gea for me has been probably the player of the season after Bruno at the moment because I think he's been fantastic and he was fantastic again with that crucial save, really.
Yeah, David De Gea. I mean, obviously, over the past couple of years, the form has been bad and whatnot. But let's not take away from this guy that the man is still world class for me. Regardless of any form, you don't lose that ability, bruv. The man has been. He's slowly getting back to the David De Gea of old, and we need to give him the credit.
Just calling, he said you're slipping like Stevie G. That's what he said.
Please, can I ask you a question? Do you think that because Dean Henderson has come in and that competition I think that's done it?
Right, and that's 100%, and that's what I was going to touch on. I think that's giving him that instinct, all right, you know what? I need to, buckle down. I need to get this thing up and going. I need to get back to the old David De Gea, and that's what's happened, bruv. I think in his personal life as well, he's, you know.
I said smoking iron brew.
Hey, yo, that's what it was. Hey, bro.
Iron Brew, you know. Back to the Iron Brew.
Scotland Euro 2020, man. That's Scotland at the Euros, man.
Okay.
Euros, boys. We're having a party.
Having a birthday.
But no, David De Gea has been superb, and I'll give credit where credit is due. Harry Maguire, even in the internationals, 3 games in, he was fantastic, and you know, I'll give credit where credit is due, and he carried that form from internationals.
Biggs, what did you make of Tellez? Because if I'm not mistaken, that was his first start, wasn't it, in the league?
I thought it was. I thought it was all right. I didn't think he put a foot wrong. I thought he just did what he had to do. It would have been better. I want to see more crosses. I would like to see Cavani up top if he's there.
Yeah.
If he whips them crosses, Cavani in and around there, bro. Like that shit will flow nicely, man. I thought he was all right, bro. I thought Tellez did what Tellez had to do, bro. And he didn't put a foot wrong. And you know, we can say that, oh man, we missed Shaw. I forgot about Shaw. I forgot how Shaw looked like when I saw Tellez. No disrespect to Shaw, but you know, shout out to Tellez, bro. You get me? And no, overall, man, those are the positives, man. I was really impressed with the back line, man. Yeah, people Viking Red saying David De Gea is back.
Yes.
Yeah, all this talk with Leno. All this talk with Leno and all of them, man. I want them in a film, bro. Remember David De Gea, bro. Yeah, remember the name, bro. Are you dumb? The guy was in what PFA in Team of the Year for how many seasons, bro? Remember that, man. David, come on, G, allow it, man. David De Gea is coming back slyly, man. You man, remember. You're gonna remember. I hope there'll be a game where it'll be like, remember the Arsenal game. I want a game like that. I want them to. I want the blood. I want the tears. That's what I want. Yeah. I'm sick and tired of you, man. Disrespecting
I hope it's against Liverpool as well, and we beat them. I would love it. I would love it. Don't penalty. Clock crying on side. Oh my god, please.
I want all the shots on target as well. David De Gea just saving left, right, center. Now, 89th minute penalty, Bruno Fernandes, and I want that little hop as well. You get me? There you go.
I had to captain about fancy football. I knew we get a penalty, mate. It is what it is.
Swear down. That's what I did.
Yeah, listen, G, we'll bring you in, but obviously make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. As always, we're trying to get to 1K. Some more love with De Gea in the chat from Viking Red. But yeah, over to yourself, G. Any positives you took from yesterday, mate?
Yeah, I mean, aside from obviously the stuff that said, I think that we know where like our transfer budget went to. I generally think that we're buying these refs and VAR, man. Because I don't know what it is. Let's be real.
I haven't spoken about the penalty decisions at all. I completely forgot.
Yeah, let's be real.
What were your thoughts on their penalty?
It looks like a penalty to me to West Brom. It should have been a penalty. Now
it was a
Stonewall penalty. So I was actually trying to understand like why, because obviously the referee gave it. He then went to the monitor. So it's not like it was VAR. He actually went to the monitor to look at the to the thing. So I don't know whether he looked at the monitor, slowed it down, and was like, "Oh, Bruno Fernandes," because actually people forget there was a similar one in the Villa game early on in the game where like it was overall because he went to the monitor and Bruno Fernandes gets a small touch to the ball first, but then his shin obviously takes the player. Now for me, that's still a penalty. I don't know whether
it's a pen, you know. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm moving. I don't think it's a pen, bro.
I don't think it's
really. That's a Muay Thai low roundhouse kick, man. Right to the ankle.
I didn't think it was a pen. I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
But I think there was more contact in the Martial pull when he got pulled down on the shirt. I thought that was more of a pen than that one because don't get me wrong, it's very soft from Martial. Don't get me wrong, but he's blatantly pulled him. Like, do you know what I mean? Why is he even doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see that Bruno kicks the ball and it does go through the guy's legs. Like it does clip it through his leg. It's the most faintest of touches. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's not. I said on the watch along as well. If he gives that as a penalty, I'm not going to be mad about it because I can see why he's giving it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, because it's our team, I can see why he's not giving it as well. Because obviously we paid him in it, so you know it's all good.
Exactly.
That, you know.
I was shouting at Liverpool fans because people forget that I think David, the ref, he was supposed to referee this game, the Liverpool-Leicester game, but Liverpool fans got like angry. They didn't want him to referee the Liverpool-Leicester game, so he had to ref our game instead. So we do have to shout Liverpool fans for that.
Oh shit! Appreciate Liverpool fans, man. You get us indirect points and that. You love to see it. Obviously, they're complaining, innit? What don't they fucking complain about? I'm surprised they do a petition.
Don't know. But yeah, like I mean, it's for some reason we are getting the lucky decisions, and I know it's Pope's club, but I would also say long may it continue. Got no problem with that if it goes away. Like I don't. I guess last, is there anything? I mean, I still think I know people. I still like Fred. I think
Fred. I love Fred. I don't have anything against Fred at all.
Yes, I just feel that like I know that he's not the most gifted, he's not the most talented player. I get that, but I just like the fact that like when he intercepts the ball, like that work rate. I know it's like we should be on, but him doing that has put us in a lot of positions to score goals.
Yeah, but that's a very valid point, and that's why I do love Fred. But do you not think that's even, again, I don't want to be negative here, but do you not think he's got that work rate? We all know Bruno's got that work rate. We know Rashford's got work rate as well. And Marcel showed against RB Leipzig that he's got work rate. He initiated the press 20 times, followed by Pogba 19, which is a lot of times to initiate a press in a game. Why does Oli not get them to do it more frequently? Because like we've got a very young squad. There's no reason not to do it.
I don't know. I don't know, mate. That's my question to that. Really, I really don't know. I mean, but in your relation to Fred, I think you talk about consistency. So for me, second to David De Gea, who I think has probably been our most consistent in terms of performer. For me, I think Fred on a consistent basis has been our most consistent player. So some of these players, you know, Rashford can have an amazing performance, but in that game, I think in that RB Leipzig game, Fred was also really good. PSG game likewise as well, you know. So
Fred is good.
Consistency, he like has that, and that's what I feel like we need in this team. But like I said, Beeks has obviously taken a lot of the other.
Well, there wasn't, without sounding negative, there wasn't many. But Bob's coming to you just to finish it off. Obviously, Viking Red showing love as always. Appreciate my brother. Obviously, everyone else, if you're still tuning in, make sure you drop a like on the video. Bob's to finish off, mate. Obviously, Ali not being a legend, we've established that. But any positives from yesterday's win against West Bromwich Albion, the mighty West Brom?
Yeah, I've not really got much to say about it because he's a prick. F the guy. So, nah, I'm not. I'm boycotting the question. I don't even want to answer it about Man United anymore. Sack it. Sack it. Nah. There. What was the question again?
Are there any positives from yesterday's victory?
Hindsight, we got a clean sheet. Okay. And it was, I mean, it was good to get Alex Telles some 90 minutes, you know. I mean, what else do you want me to say? I mean, we got a clean sheet.
Listen, Denver Bar's coming to OT, boys. Are we ready?
Slap him up, man. Slap him up.
God,
slap him up, bro. Crunch him up like a chocolate Malteser, man. Fuck Denver Bar.
Yo, Pops, they are positives, man. They are positive, obviously.
No. They are positive. They are positive. Look,
not the 3 points. We're winning the league. Come on. Oh, join me.
We're above Arsenal and City in the league. There you go. There's another positive. So, like,
No. Oh wow! So we're still above Arsenal. That is a positive. So you know we have the banter rights for at least 1 week. So you know it is what it is. And we're above Man City as well, who haven't got any. Well, what I said was their oil's run out. So it is what it is as well. So, but listen, I just want to say a massive shout out to our guests as always. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow 7 p.m. we've got the Rival Fan podcast where obviously the Rival fans will be on. Kish and Alex will be on. Of course, Spurs and Manchester City fans. So I've got a feeling Alex is going to get a rinse tomorrow on the chat. So make sure you tune in for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, as always, before we finish our Beaks, should we just shout out your socials, my brother?
Yeah, it's your boy Beaks. Make sure you catch us on YouTube, Beaks Corner. I'm on Twitter and Instagram on the handle. Make sure you subscribe to Usmaan Talks United. Let's get to 1K before the end of the year. Make sure you keep on subscribing, boys.
Yes, bits and bobs. We've got coming here, Bob's, your legend with a toe poke.
Listen, yeah, so what? It's your boy Bits and Bob. Listen, the Black Scotsman with the catchiest phrase on Twitter right now. Check me out, bro. Twitter handle's there. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, but make sure you support the man then. Beaks, G, Red Devil Studio, and obviously the captain of our ship, Usmaan Talks United. Big up to the man then. And Was, you're right, lad. I am a legend. Bigger legend than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
And G, just to finish that today.
Oh, sorry, 2 seconds. That's my phone. 1 second. Yeah, so get that guy. Get that guy on. Get that guy, man. Yeah, no. Red Devil Studio, obviously. Old Man G here. I'm Twitter, We're United X, and I'm also got a YouTube channel called Red Devil Studio. Shout out to Usmaan as well. I am going to get you on the show. I've just got a really busy exam coming up. That's why I don't have as much time, but I'm going to get you on my channel as well. Guys who are watching, subscribe to Usmaan as well, man. Support this guy like he's a G, man.
No worries. Thank you very much for coming on. As always, make sure you stay tuned for more content. Like he said, just subscribe to everybody, man. It's free. Good luck on your exam as well, my